Welcome to NAWFABZ.
Welcome to part 2 of this Mk6 GTI exhaust build. In part 1 we fabricated a 3-inch cap bag, and today we're here to finish what we started.
And the way we're going to finish that is with a 3-inch downpipe. But my only concern is that I don't want to ruin the sound we already previously made. If you watched the earlier video, it already sounds absolutely perfect. I'm just so concerned. I hope the 3-inch downpipe does not ruin it.
The first step is we're going to get some gloves on, then we're going to remove the intake pipe. I always find it easier to get the top 2 nuts from the top with a ratchet and a long extension. Problem is, these can go really easy or really difficult. These nuts are insanely tight and super rusty, so we're praying they don't snap, otherwise we're in for a world of pain.
We're going to need a bigger ratchet than that one. And to bring in the medium guns. We do have bigger, just in case this one's not big enough. Oh my god, that is insanely tight, like crazy tight. I'm actually bending extension. Right, time to swap to the big guns. Right, and with this one, it will either come out or we will snap the extension. Extension's a snap-on, so we're not bothered about that. They're warranty. Oh. Right, well, something happened. We either broke the ratchet or the nut went. Well, the nut's still there, so it can't have snapped off. Let's swap back to the small one and see if that's cracked off.
So that one's a success. That's one of the top 2 successfully removed. Now we're just going to whip this little aftermarket heat shield off out of the way. Just gives us a bit of better access to the back nut closest to the engine block. Now you'll notice I'm using a little mirror. That's because this one can be tricky to find, so I tend to find using a little mirror just helps you see where the nut is. You can guide the long extension in between the coolant hoses. Same again, get the ratchet on it and give it hell, see what happens.
Alright, that's 2 for 2. Let's unplug the lander sensor and then let's get underneath. Oh my god! Never had nuts this tight on these, Jesus. Let's see what's coming. Old snapperoo.
Can't get one reach on it.
No.
Nut at wrong angle.
Oh, it's gone! And although they was the tightest nuts I've ever took off of a 2-litre TFSI, we've got all 4 of them. We'll take that as a win.
Once you've got those 4 turbo nuts off, that really is the hard bit out of the way. Next step is then to remove the cross brace. 4 30mm on that come undone easily. 2 30mm bolts on the exhaust rubber. Undo the back clamp. Undo the lander sensor. Give it a wiggle to get it out of there. It does come out of there. You don't have to drop the subframe or anything like that. It does all fit out of there perfect. As soon as the old one's off and out of the way, we can begin building the new one.
So as you can see, I've already got a few parts on my bench here. That is because this is not my first rodeo. I've built many 2-litre TFSI downpipes, so I already kind of know the rough type of stuff we need to get this downpipe started. One of those is a 2-litre TFSI flange. Now these have a 3.5-inch inlet hole, so it's straight into a 3.5-inch bend. And you'll see I've welded a little step down on there to 3-inch, and then we'll come out of that with a 45-degree bend, another 45-degree bend to bring it straight into the centre of the tunnel, into a flexi, 30-degree bend, join up to the rest of the exhaust we already made. Sounds simple, let's do it.
And just as everything was going so well, an absolute disaster was about to slap me right around the face.
This is not good news. So it seems my flange supplier has had a little bit of a bad batch, or something's gone wrong with one of the drawings. As you can see on this flange, when we line all the bolt holes up, look how far the centre hole is not lined up. So if we were to use that, we're going to create essentially a nasty lip on the inside of the turbo housing, where it comes out of the housing and into the flow of the exhaust downpipe. Sadly, not what I want, so I am not going to be using that. So that's left me in a dilemma, and a rather tricky one at that, because I ordered quite a few of those flanges for up and coming TFSI downpipe jobs. Obviously now they're all scrap. I've just contacted the seller. We are going to need to return them. But at the moment, as you'll see, I've got this GTI stripped in 1,000 pieces. So what are we going to do now? I haven't got another flange. I'm going to have to do something what I really don't like doing, but I'm left with no choice. We've contacted the customer. We've asked if he minds if we cut the original downpipe so we can reuse the flange. He's given us the okay on that. I don't like doing this at all, but in this situation, I've got nothing. It's either put it back together and the customer rebooks for a month's time, when that's when his waitlist is around a month, or we reuse the flange. He's opted for us to reuse the flange. As you've seen in his other videos, I have saved flanges before, so I will make a nice job of cleaning that flange up, but not ideal, guys. But again, not my fault either, is it? The suppliers are clearly having a bad batch of them, so I have sent an email to them expressing how deeply unhappy I am right now. So that was an hour delay that I could have really done without. As you see, save the flange, machine the internal bore out to 3.5, skim the face off best I can. It's not ideal at all, but my hands are tied, best I can do. And I've got a refund for them flanges already before I'd even finished doing that.
So now that little dilemma is out of the way, you'll see we can start piecing the downpipe together part by part. Now I have done many of these before, as I said before, so I do kind of already know what angles need to go where. I'm kind of sort of doing this for a mental jig in my mind. I already kind of know what I need to be using. So you'll see it come together really fast.
And there's the tack together version. This is all ready for a clean, a purge and a weld now. That actually took longer to save the flange than it did to build that. Really easy to do a 2 litre TFSI downpipe. They're not too bad to do at all. You need to drill a couple of holes in it for the lander sensor bosses, and then we're going to clean it and we're going to weld it.
Welding is probably the most time consuming part. It takes care and precision to produce the quality TIG welds that we are renowned for.
And when I say quality, I mean quality. Just like these, every single time. Absolute welding pornography. Can I say words like that? Or will I need to cut that? Please don't ban me, YouTube.
Once that's all welded up, it's time to install the new downpipe back on the car. This is a fairly quick and easy job. We've already freed all the nuts off, and our downpipe is designed to be a perfect fit.
And when I say perfect, I mean perfect every single time. Let's lay it down and let's hopefully see if we've not ruined the exhaust sound of this car. Okay, here goes. I'd be lying if I said I weren't nervous. Really hope we haven't just killed this. It sounded perfect before. Hopefully it's not too loud now. Sound too bad initially, does it? Perfect. Actually sounds spot on that. Obviously it is cold, so I'm not going to rev knackers off it. It's so late on in day, guys. We're going to take it for a little spin now. We'll get it warmed up on drive, and then I'll give you a sound clip as we get back.
So I suppose there's only one job left to do, and that's to get the car outside. Let's go and take it a drive and give you guys a POV of what this actually sounds like on the road in a real life situation.
Right, my little NAWFABZ gang, welcome to the latest road test we have ever done here on the channel. We close at 6 PM. It's now 5:47 PM. That flange delayed me an hour at least. We would have been done a long time ago, so that delayed me an hour. But here we are, probably going to be working late just to show you guys what this GTI sounds like. And first impressions, sounds absolutely sick.
Yeah, it does.
I'm just hoping it's not too much.
Oh, free bypass.
Free bypass, no traffic. Let's let her rip. Rips this car.
Oh, it's got some power.
It absolutely rips.
These feel so much faster than Golf R.
They do.
It's actually insane.
Like, I don't even want to tell you how fast we're going then. 32 mile an hour to be exact. But yeah, it absolutely chips. But let's give you a quick review. My camera battery's flashing red at me. Everything's just against us, but we're trying to get you the content you deserve. So, in terms of the boost, on boost, sounds absolutely phenomenal. You will be absolutely wet through from head to toe with the sound of that on boost. Drone, we're sat at 70 now.
Nothing.
Just barely anything there, is there? No drone. So a downpipe combined with our catback setup is a completely drone-free setup on a Mk6 GTI. Just bear in mind this is the edition 35 though, so it is the EA113 engine, the early generation TFSI engine. I would like to test this on an actual normal GTI, which is the EA 888 engine in it, the later generation. I would imagine it'll be a very similar, but who knows. But drone free, sounds immense. We'll give it one last little blip before my camera battery dies.
Does this not make you want to take a box out, escort this?
We'll see what it sounds like. We'll see what it sounds like. But essentially this is the same engine what's in my Escort, apart from this is KO4 turbo setup. Oh, she rips. Can you imagine how fast that Escort's going to be? That Escort is going to be so fast, it's unbelievable. So this is KO4 setup, so it will be quicker than, well, technically quicker than Escort, but
probably not.
Escort's half the weight, remember that. Anyway guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I've tried to switch it up a little bit on style. Let me know what you think. Do you like it like this? Do you prefer more details? Obviously I've already done a detailed video on this car of us building the entire cat back. This is part 2 to this job. If you want to watch part 1, flick over to the other job. You can see in depth how we built the cat back exhaust system with the road test before we did the downpipe. This is part 2 with a downpipe. Hopefully that's now completed all the thoughts in your minds. Really appreciate you watching, guys. Please hit that subscribe button if you do like what you see. We have got almost endless content. We do this every single day. We have done for the last 8 years or so. There's loads more to come. We'll see you at the next video.